1412 Wrestling Episode 31, Championship Chaos. The arena is buzzing with the usual chaotic energy that defines 1412 wrestling. Purple slime drips from the ceiling, adding an eerie glow to the setting, while VHS tapes line the walls, creating a nostalgic yet surreal atmosphere. As the crowd roars with excitement, the lights dimmed is set for a special performance. My Bloody Valentine takes the stage and performs their hit song, Only Shallow, their ethereal and powerful sound setting the perfect mood for the night's unpredictable events. As the performance concludes, the commentary team of Mr. Feeney, Elvira, Pauly Shore, and Jim Ross takes their places, their voices filled with excitement and anticipation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another thrilling episode of 1412 Wrestling. Tonight, we have a lineup that promises chaos, drama, and unforgettable moments. That's right, Feeney. With all our champions present and ready for action, you can bet that tonight will be nothing short of spectacular. Buddies, get ready for a wild ride. We've got titles on the line, unexpected twists, and of course, plenty of slime. Folks, we have an incredible night ahead of us. Let's quickly remind everyone of our current champions. The camera pans across the crowd, capturing their enthusiastic cheers before cutting to a graphic of the current champions. Our world champion, the unstoppable Mike Tyson, has been on a tear, knocking out every challenger that comes his way. Elvira. And let's not forget our tag team champions, Jason Voorhees and Paula Abdul. Their unlikely partnership has proven to be a force to be reckoned with. Pauly Shore, 4/4/20, our competitive eating champion, has shown that he can out-eat anyone, anytime, anywhere. Jim Ross. Marvin the Martian continues to dominate as the laser gun surfing battle champion, while Catherine Isabel holds the Divas Championship with an iron grip. Donkey Lips, our sword fighting champion, has defended his title valiantly, and the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade reigns supreme as the stable champions. Elvira. With all these champions and the unpredictable nature of 1412 wrestling, who knows what will happen tonight? Stay tuned, because you won't want to miss a single moment. As the commentary team finishes their introductions, the camera cuts to the backstage area where the first competitors are preparing for their matches. The energy is electric, and the stage is set for a night of unforgettable wrestling action. Match 1, Elvira versus Dolly Parton. The anticipation in the arena reaches a fever pitch as Elvira steps away from the commentary table, ready to compete. The crowd erupts in cheers, eager to see the Mistress of the Dark in action. Dolly Parton, adorned in her glittering outfit, enters the ring to a rousing ovation. The match to determine the #1 contender for the 1412 Divas Championship is about to begin. The bell rings, and Elvira and Dolly Parton lock up in the center of the ring. Elvira quickly gains the upper hand, using her dark powers to throw Dolly off balance. She delivers a series of rapid strikes, each one landing with precision. Dolly, however, proves to be resilient, countering with surprising strength and agility. She ducks a wild swing from Elvira and delivers a powerful dropkick that sends Elvira staggering. Jim Ross. By God, Dolly Parton is showing she's not just a country music legend, she's a force to be reckoned with in the ring. Pauly Shortly Buddy, she's bringing the fight to Elvira. Elvira regains her composure and channels her dark powers, causing the lights to flicker ominously. She hits Dolly with a spine-tingling DDT, driving her into the mat. Elvira goes for the pin, but Dolly kicks out at 2, much to the delight of the crowd. Dolly fights back, using her natural strength to lift Elvira and slam her into the corner turnbuckle. She follows up with a series of punches, each one drawing cheers from the fans. Elvira, however, is not easily defeated. She counters with a vicious knee to Dolly's midsection, followed by a swift suplex that leaves Dolly gasping for breath. Mr. Feeney. Elvira is relentless tonight. She's determined to secure her shot at the Divas Championship. You're not getting rid of me that easily, Feeney. As the match continues, Elvira decides to end it with a flourish. She summons her dark powers, casting a spell that causes the arena lights to dim and a thick fog to envelop the ring. Dolly, momentarily disoriented, struggles to see through the mist. Elvira seizes the opportunity, hitting Dolly with her finishing move. a devastating dark side slam. With Dolly immobilized, Elvira goes for the pin. The referee counts to 3 and the bell rings, signaling Elvira's victory. Result: Elvira wins by pinfall. Elvira stands tall, her hand raised in victory as the fog dissipates. The crowd cheers wildly, knowing that Elvira has secured her place as the #1 contender for the 14-12 Divas Championship. Jim Ross, what a match. Elvira has earned her shot at Catherine Isabel and the Divas Championship next week. Mr. Feeney, it's going to be one incredible showdown. You won't want to miss it. As Elvira returns to the commentary table, the camera cuts to the backstage area, where the next competitors are preparing for their match, keeping the excitement in the arena at a peak. Backstage segment. The scene cuts to the backstage area where Dane Cook, ever the comedian, is ready with a microphone in hand. He's got his signature smirk, clearly relishing his role as the interviewer tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite wisecracking interviewer, and I've got a treat for you. Guess who's back? None other than Gilberg. Gilberg makes his entrance, and the crowd in the arena can be heard cheering loudly. He's hyped up, flexing his muscles and basking in the adulation of the fans. That's right, folks. Gilberg is back, and I'm ready to bring some serious competition to 14-12 wrestling. The crowd roars with approval. Gilberg continues to hype them up, but suddenly the atmosphere changes. Gans. The camera pans to reveal Mike Tyson, fresh from his victory in the Battle Royal in Hell, appearing on the scene. He's flanked by his pigeons who flutter around him, adding to his intimidating presence. Whoa. Ho, hold up. Looks like we've got company, folks. Gilberg turns to face Tyson, still confident, but there's a noticeable gulp. Tyson doesn't waste any time. With the speed and power that only he possesses, he delivers a knockout punch to Gilberg, sending him crashing to the floor. Well, that escalated quickly. Talk about a knockout. Hey, Tyson, you sure know how to make an entrance. Tyson turns his steely gaze to Dane Cook, who suddenly realizes his mistake. Dane Cook. Hey, Mike, buddy, let's not do anything hasty here. But it's too late. Tyson's fist connects with Dane Cook's jaw, and the comedian goes down hard, joining Gilberg on the floor. The camera zooms in on Tyson, who stands over the two fallen men, his pigeons cooing in approval. The scene cuts back to the arena where the crowd is buzzing from the explosive backstage encounter. The energy is palpable as they await the next segment, knowing that anything can happen tonight in 14-12 wrestling. Match 2, Joey Tribbiani versus Bars. The camera cuts to the arena where Joey Tribbiani is making his entrance, accompanied by Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are hyped up, engaging with the crowd and playing up Joey's entrance music. Here comes Joey Tribbiani, and he's got some serious backup tonight with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Buddy, this is going to be gnarly. The crowd roars in approval as Joey and the Turtles make their way to the ring. The atmosphere shifts as Bars makes his entrance, flanked by the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade. Donkey Lips, Doug Funny, Cliff O'Malley, Jackie Chan, BB Rexa, Lola Bunny, Earl's Hair, and Sugar Shane Helms all march down to the ring with determined expressions. Looks like Bars isn't alone either. This is going to be one wild match. The bell rings, and Joey Tribbiani and Bars waste no time, immediately locking up in the center of the ring. Joey tries to use his agility to gain an early advantage, but Bars counters with brute strength, tossing Joey into the corner. Mr. Feeney. Joey will need to be more strategic if he hopes to outmaneuver Bars. The two exchange blows, and the match spills outside the ring, where the Turtles and the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade begin to argue and brawl. The chaos on the outside distracts the referee, allowing Bars to hit Joey with a low blow. Joey doubles over in pain, and Bars takes advantage, lifting him up for a brutal power bomb. Jim Ross, good God almighty, Bars just decimated Joey with that power bomb. Bars looks over and sees a fan in the front row eating chocolate ice cream, which infuriates him. Fueled by his hatred for the dessert, he channels his rage into his next move. He hoists Joey up again and delivers a devastating spinebuster. Pauly Shore. Bars is on a rampage. This guy really hates chocolate ice cream. Joey tries to fight back using his agility to dodge a few of Barr's attacks, but it's not enough. Bars catches Joey with a massive clothesline, nearly taking his head off. He follows up with a series of power moves, showcasing his brute strength and dominance. Joey is in serious trouble here. Bars is just too powerful. With the Turtles and the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade still brawling outside the ring, Bars sets Joey up for his finishing move. He lifts Joey high into the air and brings him crashing down with a thunderous powerbomb, pinning him to the mat. Result, Bars wins by pinfall. The referee counts to 3 and Bars stands victorious, his hand raised in triumph. The Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade members cheer as Bars glares at the fan, eating chocolate ice cream, his fury evident. Bars has made a statement tonight, and he's not to be taken lightly. What a match. Indeed, Joey put up a good fight, but Bars' strength and intensity were too much for him. The segment ends with Bars standing tall in the ring, surrounded by the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade as the Turtles help a defeated Joey Tribbiani to the back. The crowd buzzes with excitement, eagerly anticipating what's next in the chaotic world of 1412 wrestling. Match 3. Ross Geller versus Darkwing Duck versus the Sentient Toaster. The camera cuts to the ring where Ross Geller is standing, microphone in hand, ready to deliver his pre-match promo. You know, I've been hearing a lot about Chandler Bing lately, and I just want to set the record straight. I'm not a jerk like Chandler. I'm here to prove that you don't need dirty tactics to win. The crowd gives a mixed reaction as Ross continues to talk. Suddenly, the lights dim and a spotlight focuses on the entrance ramp. Darkwing Duck makes a dramatic entrance, complete with smoke and theme music. He struts to the ring, microphone in hand, ready to respond. Ross, you may not be a jerk, but you're certainly no hero. Tonight, I'm here to show everyone why I'm the terror that flaps in the night. The crowd erupts in cheers as Darkwing enters the ring. Just then, the Sentient Toaster's music hits, and it rolls down to the ring, brandishing a variety of kitchen appliances. The bell rings, and the match begins with all 3 competitors eyeing each other warily. Jim, this is going to be one chaotic match, folks. Ross Geller, Darkwing Duck, and the Sentient Toaster in a triple threat battle. Buddy, this is going to be wild. The match kicks off with Ross using his paleontological knowledge to outsmart his opponents. He dodges the Toaster's swinging kitchen appliances and counters Darkwing's gadgets with surprising agility. Ross manages to trap the Toaster in a corner, using its own power cord against it. Elvira. Look at Ross go. He's really showing some unexpected moves here. Darkwing Duck, however, isn't one to be outdone. He pulls out his gas gun and blinds Ross momentarily, then uses his grappling hook to pull the Sentient Toaster into the center of the ring. The Toaster retaliates by launching a barrage of toast slices at both opponents, causing the crowd to laugh and cheer. Mr. Feeney, Darkwing Duck's resourcefulness is something to behold. He's turning this match into a real spectacle. The action intensifies as Darkwing and Ross team up temporarily to neutralize the Sentient Toaster. They manage to knock it over, but just as Ross is about to pin it, Darkwing turns on him, hitting him with a spring-loaded boxing glove from his utility belt. Jim Ross. Darkwing Duck with a sneaky move. He's not going to let Ross steal the spotlight. With the Toaster temporarily incapacitated, Darkwing focuses on Ross. They exchange blows, and Ross manages to land a few solid punches, but Darkwing's agility gives him the upper hand. He leaps onto the top rope and launches himself at Ross, knocking him down with a flying kick. Whoa. Did you see that? Darkwing Duck is on fire. As Ross struggles to his feet, Darkwing seizes the opportunity. He hits Ross with his signature move, the Darkwing Drop, a spinning DDT that leaves Ross sprawled on the mat. Before the Toaster can recover, Darkwing quickly covers Ross for the pin. Result: Darkwing Duck wins by pinfall. The referee counts to 3, and Darkwing Duck stands victorious in the ring. The crowd erupts in cheers as he strikes a heroic pose, his cape billowing behind him. Darkwing Duck with an impressive victory here tonight? What a match! That was incredible. Darkwing Duck showed why he's the terror that flaps in the night. As Darkwing Duck celebrates, the Sentient Toaster rolls out of the ring, still smoldering slightly from the action. Ross Geller slowly gets to his feet, looking dazed and disappointed. Ross gave it his all, but Darkwing Duck's experience and cunning were too much for him. The segment ends with Darkwing Duck standing tall in the ring, his theme music playing as the crowd chants his name. The camera cuts to a commercial break, leaving the audience buzzing with excitement for what's next in 1412 wrestling. The camera cuts to the backstage area, where chaos is already brewing. The random kid, under the watchful eye of Bobby Heenan, is seen with a mischievous grin, urinating on John 420's precious stash of weed and hot sauce. The scene is filled with the sound of the kid's laughter and Heenan's booming voice as he prepares to cut a promo. A promo. Ladies and gentlemen, take a good look at the future of 1412 wrestling. This kid right here is making a statement. John 420, you and your golf cart stable are nothing but a bunch of low-life degenerates. Your antics are a joke, and this right here is what we think of your so-called stash. The random kid finishes his act of defiance and stands proudly next to Heenan, who continues his tirade. John 420, you think you can run around here smoking weed and chugging that pathetic hot sauce and call yourselves champions? The golf cart is a disgrace to this business. You're nothing but a bunch of overgrown children playing at being wrestlers. This kid here has more guts, more drive, and more potential in his little finger than your entire stable combined. The camera zooms in on Heenan's face, his eyes blazing with intensity. Bobby Heenan, you want to know what real talent looks like? Look no further. This kid is the future, and we're coming for you, John. We're coming for your titles, your reputation, and we're going to expose you for the frauds you are. The random kid, still grinning, steps forward and gives the camera a thumbs-down gesture, mimicking Heenan's disdain. The random kid, bye-bye, golf cart losers. With that, Heenan and the random kid walk off, leaving the ruined stash behind as the camera captures the remnants of John 420's desecrated belongings. The scene cuts back to the arena, where the crowd is buzzing from the shocking display. My God, did you see that? The random kid just desecrated John 420's stash, and Heenan's words were brutal. This is going to ignite a fire under the golf cart. They won't take this lying down. Buddy, this is just getting crazier by the minute. The camera pans over the arena, capturing the crowd's reactions, before cutting to the next segment. Match 4, the angry video game nerd versus Scott Steiner. The lights dim and the familiar sounds of retro video games echo through the arena as the angry video game nerd makes his entrance. He steps into the ring with a bag full of retro gaming gadgets, ready to take on the formidable Scott Steiner. Jim Ross. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one for the ages. The angry video game nerd, known for his hatred of terrible video games, is about to face Scott Steiner, one of the most powerful men in 1412 wrestling. Elvira. Let's see if the nerd can use his gaming gadgets to even the odds against Steiner and his Tigers. The crowd roars as Scott Steiner's entrance music hits. Accompanied by his fierce Tigers, Steiner marches to the ring, his muscles bulging and his eyes filled with intensity. The Tigers prowl menacingly around the ring, adding an extra layer of intimidation. Pauly Shore. Buddy, this is going to be gnarly. Steiner and his Tigers are a force to be reckoned with. The bell rings and the match begins. The angry video game nerd wastes no time pulling out a retro gaming controller and whipping it at Steiner's legs, trying to trip him up. Steiner stumbles slightly but quickly recovers, charging at the nerd with a powerful clothesline. The nerd is using every trick in the book, but Steiner's power is unmatched. The nerd scrambles to his feet and pulls out a copy of the infamous WCW Backstage Assault for the N64. He attempts to shove the cartridge up Steiner's ass, but Steiner counters with a brutal elbow to the nerd's face, sending him crashing to the mat. Elvira, that's gotta hurt. Steiner isn't going to let the nerd humiliate him with that cartridge. Steiner lifts the nerd and delivers a punishing suplex, shaking the ring with his raw strength. The Tigers, sensing their master's dominance, roar from the outside, further rattling the nerd. Desperate, the nerd reaches into his bag and pulls out an old NES zapper gun, aiming it at Steiner. Pauly Shore. Is that the NES zapper? This is wild. Before the nerd can fire, Steiner grabs the zapper and crushes it with his bare hands. He then hoists the nerd onto his shoulders, spinning him around before slamming him to the mat with a devastating Steiner screwdriver. The crowd gasps at the sheer force of the move. Good God Almighty! Steiner with the Steiner screwdriver! This could be it! But Steiner isn't finished. He locks the nerd into the Steiner recliner, his massive arms squeezing the life out of his opponent. The nerd struggles, trying to reach for his bag of gadgets, but it's no use. The pain is too much, and he taps out, signaling his submission. Result, Scott Steiner wins by submission. Steiner releases the hold and stands victorious, his tigers joining him in the ring to celebrate. The angry video game nerd lies defeated on the mat, clutching his bag of broken gadgets. Elvira. Steiner proves once again why he's one of the most dominant forces in 1412 wrestling. The angry video game nerd gave it his all, but in the end, Steiner's power was too much to overcome. Buddy, that was intense. The nerd needs to stick to video games after this beating. As Steiner and his tigers exit the ring, the camera cuts to the commentary team, who reflect on the brutal match and hype up the next segment of the show. Back. The screen fades from the aftermath of the intense match between Scott Steiner and the angry video game nerd to a pre-taped segment. The scene opens in a packed basketball arena, the crowd roaring as the NBA Finals are in full swing. The camera zooms in on the players from both teams, sweating and focusing on the game. Suddenly, the atmosphere changes. The lights in the arena flicker and go out momentarily. When they come back on, Shredder, Leonardo, Chandler, Bebop, Rocksteady, and Groundchuck are storming onto the court. The crowd gasps in shock and confusion. Shredder grabs a microphone and starts to speak. Shredder, attention, pathetic humans. We are the Foot Clan, and we are here to take over this court and challenge the so-called best of the best. Leonardo, wielding his katanas, steps forward, his eyes blazing with determination. Dream Team of 1996, we challenge you to a Survivor Series match next week. Do you have the courage to face the Foot Clan? Chandler Bing, in full Foot Clan gear, adds his own twist. Could we be any more challenging? Bebop and Rocksteady start causing chaos, knocking over players and attacking referees. Groundchuck swings his massive axe, clearing the court as the crowd panics and tries to flee. The Foot Clan continues their rampage, attacking officials and fans alike. Bebop, this is our court now, baby. Come get some, Dream Team. The camera captures the mayhem as people scream and run for cover. Just when it seems like all hope is lost, the sound of sirens fills the arena. Police cars crash through the arena walls, their lights flashing as officers pour out, guns drawn. This is the police. Drop your weapons and surrender immediately. Shredder signals his clan to retreat. Foot Clan, fall back. We will meet our challengers next week. The Foot Clan quickly disperses, disappearing into the shadows as the police officers take control of the scene. The camera focuses on the chaos left behind. Overturned chairs, injured fans, and a basketball court in disarray. My God, the Foot Clan has invaded the NBA Finals and issued a challenge to the Dream Team. What will happen next week on 1412 Wrestling? Elvira, this is madness. The Dream Team better be ready for the fight of their lives. The segment ends with the camera panning over the wreckage and the stunned faces of the audience, cutting back to the 1412 Wrestling Arena, where the crowd is buzzing with anticipation for what's to come. Match 5, Ariana Grande versus Jeff Jarrett. The lights dim in the arena and Ariana Grande's music hits, sending the crowd into a frenzy. Ariana makes her entrance, looking confident and ready for action. She struts down the ramp, casting spells and illusions as she goes, dazzling the fans with her magical prowess. She steps into the ring, blowing a kiss to the audience. Ariana Grande, always bringing that extra flair to the ring. Let's see if her magic can stand up against the wrestling prowess of Jeff Jarrett. With her spells and charm, she's always a wild card, Jim. The lights flicker and the familiar strumming of a guitar echoes through the arena. Jeff Jarrett's entrance music blares, and he struts out with his signature guitar in hand. He smirks at the crowd, exuding confidence. He takes his time walking to the ring, taunting the fans as he goes. Jarrett climbs into the ring, eyeing Ariana with a mix of disdain and amusement. Here comes Double J, ready to lay down the law with that guitar of his. This is gonna be a wild one, buddy. The bell rings, and the match is underway. Ariana starts off with a series of quick, agile moves, using her speed to dodge Jarrett's attempts to grapple her. She casts a small illusion spell, causing Jarrett to stumble, momentarily disoriented. Ariana capitalizes, delivering a swift dropkick that sends Jarrett sprawling. Ariana taking control early on with her speed and those illusions. Jarrett's going to have to adapt quickly. Jarrett, looking frustrated, gets back to his feet and charges at Ariana. She ducks under his swing and hits him with a spinning heel kick. Jarrett staggers but doesn't go down. He quickly recovers and catches Ariana with a hard clothesline, turning the tide in his favor. He picks her up and delivers a series of punishing moves, showcasing his wrestling experience. Jarrett, showing why he's a veteran in this business. Ariana's in trouble now. Jarrett grabs his guitar, raising it above his head, ready to strike. The crowd gasps, anticipating the impact. Just as he swings, Ariana casts a spell, causing the guitar to disintegrate into glitter. Jarrett looks at his empty hands in shock, giving Ariana the opening she needs. She hits him with a magical blast, sending him into the ropes.
Whoa. Oh, that's some serious magic, dudes.
Jarrett's got to be seeing stars now. Ariana follows up with a high-flying move, leaping off the top rope and landing a perfect crossbody. She goes for the pin, but Jarrett kicks out at 2. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as the two competitors continue to battle. Jarrett, determined not to be outdone, catches Ariana with a surprise DDT, planting her in the center of the ring. He goes for the pin, but Ariana kicks out just in time. What a match. Both of these competitors are giving it their all. Who's going to come out on top? As the match reaches its climax, Ariana manages to cast a final powerful spell, creating an illusion that surrounds Jarrett. He swings wildly, trying to hit her, but she ducks and dodges every attempt. Ariana seizes the moment, hitting Jarrett with a devastating finisher, a magical tornado kick that sends him crashing to the mat. She quickly covers him for the pin. Ariana with the magical tornado kick. This could be it. 1, 2, 3. The bell rings and Ariana Grande is declared the winner. She stands victorious, the crowd cheering wildly as she celebrates her hard-fought victory. Jarrett, still dazed, rolls out of the ring, glaring at Ariana as he retreats. What a match, folks. Ariana Grande pulls off a stunning victory against Jeff Jarrett with her unique blend of magic and athleticism. Totally tubular win for Ariana. Can't wait to see what she does next. Buddy! The segment ends with Ariana basking in the adulation of the crowd, a triumphant smile on her face as she looks forward to her next challenge in 1412 wrestling. Match 6, the golf cart versus the Tanner family in a golf cart race. The arena buzzes with excitement as the announcer introduces the next match, a wild and chaotic golf cart race between the golf cart stable and the Tanner family. The ring has been transformed into a racetrack, complete with ramps, obstacles, and various hazards. Daphne, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the wildest race in 1412 wrestling history. The golf cart stable versus the Tanner family in a no-holds-barred golf cart race. The camera pans to the starting line where the golf cart stable, led by John 420, is revving their engines. The team includes the Minotaur, Iron Sheik, and a few Sumerians, all crammed into their custom-built golf cart. John 420 passes around his signature Bi-Bitch hot sauce, hyping up his team. Jim Ross. This is going to be one for the ages, folks. The golf cart stable is known for their chaotic antics, and they look ready to take on the Tanner family. On the other side of the track, the Tanner family, Danny, Joey, Jesse, and Stephanie, stand ready, their golf cart decked out in wholesome family decorations. They look determined despite the odds. Elvira, the Tanner family may have the heart, but do they have what it takes to beat the golf cart in their own game? The bell rings, and the race begins. The golf cart stable takes an early lead, using dirty tricks to gain an advantage. The Minotaur swings a massive club, knocking over obstacles and creating chaos on the track. The Sumerians hurl ancient relics at the Tanners, trying to slow them down. The golf cart's pulling out all the stops. Buddy, this is insane. Despite the chaos, the Tanner family puts up a strong fight. Danny uses his driving skills to maneuver through the obstacles, while Jesse and Joey fend off attacks from the golf cart stable. Stephanie, sitting in the back, cheers them on, adding a touch of wholesome encouragement. Jim Ross. The Tanners are showing real heart here. They're not backing down from the golf cart's dirty tactics. As the race progresses, the golf cart stable's antics become even more outrageous. John 420 pours "Buy bitch" hot sauce on the track, causing the Tanner's cart to skid wildly. The Minotaur roars and swings his club, creating a path of destruction. Elvira, this is pandemonium. The golf cart stable will do anything to win. Despite the odds, the Tanners manage to close the gap. Danny expertly navigates the final turn, bringing them neck and neck with the golf cart stable. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as the two teams race toward the finish line. In the final lap, Iron Sheik throws a handful of sand into Danny's eyes and causing him to momentarily lose control. The golf cart stable seizes the opportunity, with John 420 hitting a turbo boost, propelling them ahead. Pauly Shore. It's neck and neck. Who's going to take it? The golf cart stable crosses the finish line first, securing the victory amidst a shower of sparks and chaos. The crowd erupts in a mix of cheers and boos as the golf cart stable celebrates their win. Daphne. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the golf cart race. The golf cart stable. The Tanners, though disappointed, receive a warm round of applause for their valiant effort. They help each other out of their cart, showing their family unity despite the loss. What a race. The golf cart stable may have won, but the Tanner family showed incredible spirit tonight. I couldn't agree more, Jim. The Tanners gave it their all, but the golf cart's dirty tactics proved too much. The segment ends with the golf cart stable celebrating their victory in the ring, surrounded by their chaotic allies, while the Tanners make their way backstage, heads held high despite the defeat. The crowd is left buzzing, eager for more action in the unpredictable world of 1412 wrestling. Backstage segment. The camera cuts to a quiet backstage area where Steve Blackman and Eric Matthews are deeply engrossed in a game of Operation. Their concentration is intense as they carefully maneuver the tiny tweezers to avoid setting off the buzzer. Steve, I'm telling you, this game is all about finesse and patience. You have to. Suddenly, the tranquility is shattered by the arrival of the Red Ninja, making his debut in 1412 wrestling. With lightning-fast speed, he delivers a series of precise and devastating attacks, knocking out Steve Blackman before he can react. Eric Matthews barely has time to look up before he too is taken down by a swift roundhouse kick. Red Ninja. 1412 wrestling will never be the same again. The camera captures the chaos as the Red Ninja stands over his fallen victims, exuding an aura of menacing calm. However, his moment of triumph is short-lived. From the shadows emerges the Mummy, enraged by the assault on his friend, Eric Matthews. Mummy, you have made a grave mistake, Red Ninja. With a roar, the Mummy charges at the Red Ninja, and the two engage in a brutal backstage brawl. The Mummy's raw power and resilience clash with the Red Ninja's agility and precision. The fight is intense, with the Red Ninja initially holding his own, using his speed to land several strikes. But the Mummy's fury is unstoppable. He grabs the Red Ninja and slams him into a nearby equipment crate, splintering it into pieces. The Red Ninja attempts to counter with a spinning kick, but the Mummy catches his leg and swings him into a stack of steel chairs, causing a loud clatter. Jim Ross, on good God Almighty, the Mummy is dismantling the Red Ninja. The brawl continues with the Mummy gaining the upper hand. He delivers a series of crushing blows, each one more powerful than the last. Finally, the Mummy hoists the Red Ninja into the air and powerbombs him onto a table, which collapses under the impact. The Red Ninja lies motionless amidst the wreckage, utterly defeated. The Mummy stands over him, breathing heavily, his eyes burning with vengeance. Mummy. Let this be a warning to all who dare cross the Mummy. The camera pans over the destruction before cutting back to the commentary team, who are left in stunned silence by the ferocity of the brawl. Elvira. I've seen a lot of chaos in 412 wrestling, but that was something else. The Mummy has sent a clear message tonight. Absolutely, Elvira. The Red Ninja made a bold debut, but he bit off more than he could chew, going up against the Mummy. The segment ends with the Mummy walking away from the carnage, leaving the Red Ninja broken and defeated, setting the stage for more intense rivalries and conflicts in the unpredictable world of 1412 wrestling. Match 7. Hulk Hogan versus the Random Kid, managed by Bobby Heenan, versus Alf for the Relic. The arena buzzes with anticipation as the iconic Hulk Hogan, the mischievous Random Kid, managed by the ever-scheming Bobby Heenan, and the crafty Alf step into the ring. The stakes are high as they vie for the powerful Relic. The crowd roars as the bell rings, signaling the start of the match. Hogan flexes his muscles, rallying the crowd with his signature pose, while the Random Kid, under Heenan's watchful eye, bounces around the ring, full of energy. Alf stands calmly, his eyes gleaming with determination, knowing the Relic's power is within his reach. The match begins with Hogan taking charge, using his brute strength to toss the Random Kid across the ring. Alf, seizing the opportunity, lunges at Hogan, landing a flurry of punches. Hogan counters with a thunderous clothesline, sending Alf to the mat. The Random Kid, seeing an opening, climbs the turnbuckle and leaps onto Hogan's back, trying to choke him out. Hogan shakes him off and delivers a big boot to the Kid, sending him sprawling. Jim Ross. Hulk Hogan is dominating early on, but don't count out Alf and the Random Kid just yet. Alf quickly recovers and targets Hogan's legs, trying to bring the giant down. Heenan shouts instructions from ringside, urging the Random Kid to capitalize on any opening. The Random Kid scurries around the ring, grabbing a steel chair from under the apron. He swings it wildly at Hogan, who blocks it with his forearm and yanks the chair away, tossing it aside. The Random Kid is resourceful, but Hogan's power is overwhelming. As the battle rages on, Alf uses his cunning to outmaneuver both opponents. He ducks under Hogan's punches and lands a drop kick, sending Hogan into the turnbuckle. The Random Kid, now with a kendo stick, strikes Alf from behind, but Alf grabs the stick and snaps it in half. Heenan looks on in frustration, shouting at the Kid to regroup. Hogan, shaking off the drop kick, charges at Alf, but Alf sidesteps, causing Hogan to crash into the turnbuckle. Seizing the moment, Alf quickly retrieves the relic from his tights and activates its power. The ring is suddenly illuminated with a mystical glow, and a bear trap appears beneath Hogan's feet. The trap snaps shut, immobilizing Hogan. Whoa. Did you see that? Alf just used the relic to trap Hogan. With Hogan trapped and incapacitated, Alf turns his attention to the Random Kid. He ascends the turnbuckle and, with the crowd on their feet, performs a perfect 450 splash, crashing down onto the Kid. The referee counts the pinfall. Daphne, 1, 2, 3. Result, Alf wins by pinfall. The bell rings and the crowd erupts in cheers as Alf stands victorious, clutching the relic. Hogan, still trapped in the bear trap, struggles to free himself while the Random Kid lies motionless on the mat. Bobby Heenan looks on in disbelief, his plans foiled once again. Jim Ross. What a match. Alf has used the relic's power to secure the victory and retain control of the relic. Elvira. That was an incredible display of cunning and strategy by Alf. He truly deserves this win. Alf celebrates in the ring, holding the relic high as the crowd chants his name. Hogan finally frees himself from the trap, looking furious, while the Random Kid and Heenan retreat up the ramp, plotting their next move. The segment ends with Alf standing tall, the relic glowing in his hands, a symbol of his victory and the power he now wields in 1412 wrestling. Backstage, the golf cart stable is in disarray. The air is thick with tension as they gather around a trashed stash of weed and bottles of Bye Bitch hot sauce. The Sumerians, Minotaur, Gary Busey, Iron Sheik, Bart Gunn, John 420, Alex Trebek, and Bobby Two Beers all stand around the wreckage, puzzled and angry. The Minotaur paces back and forth, growling and roaring, his primal sounds echoing through the hallways. John 420 kneels beside the ruined stash, examining the soggy, stained remnants of what was once his prized collection. His face contorts with frustration and confusion. "What the hell happened here?" he mutters, looking up at the rest of the group. "Who would do this?" Alex Trebek adjusts his glasses and steps forward, his voice calm but firm. It appears we have a saboteur in our midst. Whoever did this clearly knew what they were targeting. Iron Sheik, if we find the culprit, I suggest you administer a camel clutch and make them regret ever crossing us. I'll take revenge tactics for 200, please. Iron Sheik, his expression filled with rage, nods vigorously. Yes, yes, I break their back, make them humble. Camel clutch for saboteur, no mercy. He flexes his muscles, emphasizing his point with a menacing glare. Gary Busey, looking wild-eyed as usual, interjects. This kind of betrayal only happens in the depths of chaos. We need to find out who did this and make them pay. His voice is a mix of paranoia and determination. Bart Gunn, shaking his head, says, we need to think this through. Who would have the motive to ruin our stash, and why? John 420 stands up, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. You know, I've been thinking. Maybe it was someone within our own ranks. Bobby, you always seem to be around when things go wrong. He turns his accusatory gaze toward Bobby Two Beers. Bobby, holding 2 glass beer bottles, smashes them together and lets out his signature incoherent yell, "Whoa!" It's his only response, as usual, and it does nothing to clear the air of suspicion. John shakes his head, frustration evident on his face. Bobby, you're not helping. We need answers, not more confusion. Who else could it be? Alex Trebek steps in again, his demeanor unflappable. John, while it is important to consider all possibilities, we must not jump to conclusions without evidence. However, the circumstantial evidence does suggest that Bobby's presence often coincides with mishaps. The Minotaur roars loudly, causing everyone to take a step back. His frustration is palpable, but he remains unable to articulate his thoughts, his growls and roars filling the space with raw emotion. John sighs, looking at each member of the stable. All right, we'll figure this out. But until then, we need to stay focused. If we find out who did this, Sheik, you know what to do. Iron Sheik nods, a wicked grin spreading across his face. I put them in camel clutch. Make them humble. No one mess with golf cart. Gary Busey, ever the wild card, adds, We'll turn this into a game of survival. Only the strong and loyal will remain. John 420, still eyeing Bobby Two Beers suspiciously, concludes the tense discussion. List. He says it with a finality that makes everyone pause, knowing that this mystery is far from over. The golf cart stable may be fractured, but their resolve to find the saboteur is stronger than ever. Match 8, Competitive Eating Championship versus Bulk versus Skull. The scene shifts to a pop-up Little Caesars pizza stand set up in the midst of the roaring 1412 wrestling crowd. The atmosphere is electric, with fans eagerly anticipating the pizza-eating contest. The entire golf cart stable is present, rallying behind John 420. He strides to the table confidently, holding the last unruined bottle of his Bi-Bitch hot sauce, ready to defend his title against Bulk and Skull. As the bell rings, the contestants dive into the stacks of pizza. John 420 wastes no time, pouring his hot sauce liberally over each slice and devouring them at an incredible pace. Bulk and Skull, despite their best efforts, struggle to keep up with John's seasoned competitive eating skills. The golf cart stable, Gary Busey, Iron Sheik, Bart Gunn, the Minotaur, Alex Trebek, and the Sumerians cheer him on, chanting his name and offering words of encouragement. Look at John 420. Go. He's eating those pizzas like there's no tomorrow, and that hot sauce is just adding fuel to the fire. This is pure chaos, JR. Can Bulk and Skull possibly catch up? The crowd is on the edge of their seats as John 420 continues to dominate, his pace unrelenting. Bulk and Skull, overwhelmed by the sheer volume of pizza and the heat from John's hot sauce, start to slow down. John 420's strategy and stamina prove too much for them, and he retains his competitive eating championship with ease. Result: John 420 wins the pizza eating contest, retaining the competitive eating championship. Post-match, the golf cart stable gathers around John 420, celebrating his victory. Suddenly, the arena's big screen flickers to life, showing a replay of the random kid urinating on John 420's weed and hot sauce stash, followed by Bobby Heenan's scathing promo. The sight sends the golf cart into a furious rage. Gary Busey, that little punk, he's gonna pay for this. I break his back, make him humble. No one disrespects Golf Cart. That kid crossed the line. He's going to regret ever messing with us. The Golf Cart stable huddles together, their faces twisted in anger and determination. Gary Busey steps forward, his wild eyes blazing with fury. Garandam Kid, you've pissed off the wrong crew. We're coming for you, and we're not holding back. Iron Sheik flexes his muscles, his voice dripping with venom. You disrespect Golf Cart. We destroy you. Camel Clutch, make you humble. John 420, still holding his championship belt and the empty bottle of Bye Bitch hot sauce, glares at the camera. John 420, Random Kid, you just signed your death warrant. The Golf Cart is going to run you over. The crowd roars in anticipation, knowing that the Golf Cart's wrath is about to be unleashed on the Random Kid. The segment ends with the stable plotting their revenge, their fury palpable and their resolve unbreakable. Match 9, Sword Fighting Championship. Donkey Lips, C versus Kool-Aid Man versus Akeem the African Dream, Charlie Pace versus Yamcha versus Ferguson Darling. The arena is abuzz as the competitors for the elimination sword fight make their way to the ring. The combatants each wield unique swords, ready to battle for the Sword Fighting Championship. Donkey Lips, the reigning champion, stands proudly with his oversized blade, while the other challengers eye each other warily. The bell rings, signaling the start of the match. Immediately, Yamcha leaps into action, his martial arts skills giving him an early advantage. He strikes at Akeem the African Dream, who blocks with his massive broadsword. The two exchange blows, their swords clashing loudly. Meanwhile, Charlie Pace and Ferguson Darling engage in a fast-paced duel, their smaller, quicker blades flashing in the lights.
Jim Ross.
Look at the speed and agility of these competitors. This is going to be one wild match, folks. Elvira, and let's not forget the Kool-Aid Man. He's surprisingly nimble for a giant glass pitcher. As the match progresses, Donkey Lips uses his brute strength to overpower Ferguson Darling, eliminating him with a powerful strike that sends him tumbling out of the ring. Next, Yamcha focuses on Charlie Pace, who fights valiantly but is ultimately overpowered and eliminated by a swift kick and sword swipe combination. Pauly Shore, Yamcha's really bringing his A game tonight. But can he handle the Kool-Aid Man? The Kool-Aid Man, seemingly invincible, charges at Akeem the African Dream, who swings his sword with all his might. The blade bounces harmlessly off the Kool-Aid Man's glass body. With a mighty swing of his own oversized sword, the Kool-Aid Man sends Akeem flying out of the ring, eliminating him. Mr. Feeney, incredible. The Kool-Aid Man's glass pitcher body remains unscathed. This is a testament to his resilience. The remaining competitors, Donkey Lips, Yamcha, and the Kool-Aid Man, face off in the center of the ring. Yamcha, seeing an opportunity, launches a flurry of attacks at Donkey Lips, who struggles to keep up. Just as Yamcha is about to land a decisive blow, the Kool-Aid Man intervenes, shattering Yamcha's sword with a single powerful strike. Yamcha, weaponless, is forced to retreat, leaving Donkey Lips and the Kool-Aid Man to battle it out. It's down to Donkey Lips and the Kool-Aid Man. Who will emerge victorious? The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Donkey Lips and the Kool-Aid Man exchange blows. Despite his best efforts, Donkey Lips cannot penetrate the Kool-Aid Man's glass exterior. With a final devastating swing, the Kool-Aid Man knocks Donkey Lips' sword out of his hand and sends him crashing to the mat. Daphne, ladies and gentlemen, your new sword-fighting champion, the Kool-Aid Man. Result: the Kool-Aid Man wins the sword-fighting championship. The crowd erupts in cheers as the Kool-Aid Man stands victorious, holding the championship high above his head. Mr. Feeney joins the commentary team in applauding the new champion. That was truly impressive. The Kool-Aid Man has proven that even in the most intense combat, he remains unbreakable. The segment ends with the Kool-Aid Man celebrating in the ring, his glass body gleaming under the arena lights. Main event, World Championship match, Elimination Match, special referee Lady Gaga. Mike Tyson, C versus Vegeta versus John Locke versus Goldar versus Billy Gunn versus Kevin McAllister. The arena is electric with anticipation as the main event of the evening is about to begin. The crowd roars as the participants make their entrances, each one greeted with a mix of cheers and boos. Lady Gaga, dressed in an elaborate referee outfit, takes her place in the ring. ready to officiate the chaotic elimination match for the World Championship. John Locke steps into the ring, grabbing a microphone to cut a promo. John Locke, tonight I'm not just fighting for myself. I'm fighting for all the believers, for all those who know there's more to life than meets the eye. This is my destiny. Vegeta, Goldar, Billy Gunn, and Kevin McAllister join Locke in the ring. Finally, the world champion, Mike Tyson, accompanied by the deafening sound of the Punch-Out theme, makes his entrance. Tyson's intense gaze sweeps across his opponents, and the match begins. From the start, it's clear that this will be a brutal encounter. Vegeta and Tyson immediately clash, their raw power shaking the ring. Locke pairs off with Goldar, while Billy Gunn and Kevin McAllister go toe-to-toe. Lady Gaga keeps a close eye on the action, ensuring fair play amidst the chaos. Vegeta suddenly stops mid-fight, and his expression turning contemplative. I need to get stronger. This battle is a waste of my time. I'm heading to the hyperbolic time chamber. With that, Vegeta leaves the ring, much to the confusion of the crowd and his opponents. The match continues without him, the remaining competitors adjusting to the unexpected departure. Mid-match, Lady Gaga raises her hands and chants an incantation, casting a spell that causes a wall of water to rise around the ring. The bizarre spectacle leaves the competitors momentarily stunned, but the fight soon resumes with added intensity. Billy Gunn, despite a valiant effort, is the first to be eliminated after a powerful punch from Tyson sends him crashing to the mat. Next, Goldar and Locke team up against Kevin McAllister, but the resourceful youngster uses his Home Alone tricks to evade their attacks. Eventually, Goldar succumbs to a series of quick maneuvers from McAllister and is eliminated. Jim Ross. Good God Almighty. This match is turning into absolute chaos. What is Lady Gaga thinking with that wall of water? The battle continues to rage, with Locke and Tyson emerging as the dominant forces. Kevin McAllister puts up a brave fight but is eventually overpowered by Locke, who eliminates him with a devastating clothesline. This leaves Tyson, Locke, and Goldar as the final three competitors. Goldar, sensing his opportunity, launches a ferocious assault on Locke. However, Locke's determination and resilience shine through as he counters with a flurry of punches and kicks, eventually eliminating Goldar. Elvira, Locke is on fire tonight. Can he overcome Tyson's raw power? Now, it's down to Tyson and Locke. The two men circle each other, the tension in the arena palpable. Tyson's fists fly with lethal precision, but Locke manages to dodge and counter with strategic strikes of his own. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as the two warriors exchange blows. Lady Gaga, maintaining her role as referee, watches intently. Tyson, with his unparalleled boxing skills, lands a series of brutal punches on Locke, forcing him into a corner. Locke, struggling to stay on his feet, refuses to give up. With one final desperate effort, he launches himself at Tyson, but the champion's reflexes are too quick. With a thunderous uppercut, Tyson knocks Locke out cold, retaining his world championship. The crowd erupts in a mix of cheers and gasps as Lady Gaga raises Tyson's hand in victory. Result: Mike Tyson retains the world championship by knocking out John Locke. As Tyson celebrates his victory, Desmond Hume rushes to the ring, trying to help his fallen friend Locke. Tyson, still fired up from the match, doesn't hesitate. With a swift and powerful punch, he knocks Desmond out as well, leaving both Locke and Desmond unconscious in the ring. Jim Ross. Mike Tyson is an unstoppable force. Who can possibly challenge him now? What a night of chaos and surprises. The show ends with Tyson standing tall in the ring, the world championship belt held high above his head. The crowd's cheers and boos echo throughout the arena as the screen fades to black, promising more chaos and excitement in the next episode of 1412 Wrestling. Closing segment. The eerie atmosphere of the arena intensifies as President Freddy Krueger steps into the ring, his razor-sharp glove gleaming under the lights. He holds a microphone, his sinister grin spreading across his face as he addresses the audience. President Freddy Krueger, it's time to introduce a new contender to the 1412 Wrestling roster. Please welcome Iron Mike Sharp. The crowd is silent, unsure how to react as Iron Mike Sharp makes his way to the ring, accompanied by a high school jock football player. The lack of reaction from the audience is palpable, creating an awkward tension in the air. Freddy Krueger. Mike Sharp is here to sign his 1412 wrestling contract and prove his worth in the most chaotic wrestling promotion in existence. Just as Mike Sharp is about to put pen to paper, the lights flicker and strange noises fill the arena. Out of nowhere, the Real Ghostbusters burst onto the scene, their proton packs glowing ominously. The crowd erupts in surprise and excitement as the Ghostbusters charge into the ring, attacking Mike Sharp before he can sign the contract. The high school jock tries to intervene, but is quickly subdued.
Ego.
This contract isn't meant for you, Sharp. It's time for some real heroes to take the stage. The Ghostbusters sign the contract themselves, officially becoming part of the 1412 wrestling roster. They turn their attention to Freddy Krueger, who watches with a mixture of amusement and irritation. Peter Venkman. Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade. Listen up. We're here to haunt you until you disband. Your days of terrorizing the arena are over. Suddenly, Slimer appears, oozing ectoplasm as he flies towards Freddy Krueger. Freddy swings his glove, but Slimer is too quick, sliming him completely. The crowd roars with laughter and cheers as Freddy flails in frustration, trying to wipe off the ectoplasm. As the Ghostbusters stand victorious in the ring, Mr. Feeney steps up to the commentary table to recap the night's events. Mr. Feeney. Folks, what a night it has been. We've seen new alliances, brutal battles, and the arrival of the Real Ghostbusters. And don't forget our current champions. World Champion, Mike Tyson, Tag Team Champions. Jason Voorhees and Paula Abdul, Competitive Eating Champion. John 420, Laser Gun Surfing Battle Champion, Marvin the Martian. Divas Champion, Catherine Isabel, Sword Fighting Champion, Donkey Lips. Stable Champions, the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade. Mr. Feeney, stay tuned for more chaos and excitement next week on 1412 Wrestling. As the show goes off the air, the Ghostbusters celebrate in the ring, the crowd's cheers echoing throughout the arena, promising even more thrilling and unpredictable events to come.